Was ground at mills on Salado Creek.
There once were 7 grist mills grinding grain in this area. Only 2 of those mills are still here, and only one is the original building. Summers Mill was built after the Civil War. It was destroyed by a flood in 1921 and rebuilt. It was still grinding grain in the 1950s. The building burned in 1975. It was rebuilt again, but it is no longer a working mill. It is on private property. Stennett's Mill was built by William Stennett in 1868, and it has survived, mostly because it was not right on the creek bank in the path of the floods. The water wheel at this mill got its water from a diversion canal. Stennett's is not grinding grain anymore either. This is a home now for Forrest Gist and his family. Forrest and Lonnie Edwards are partners. They both are products of Texas Tech at Lubbock. They do metal sculpture and play dominoes.
Oh my. Crapola.
Forrest, as soon as he graduated from Tech, he moved down here to Temple. And he was down here 2 or 3 years and stumbled onto this mill here on the creek and bought it. And I was always interested in this part of the country and would like to have come down here. The main thing that brought me down here was we had the tornado in Lubbock in 70, and I had to move from that area. The city bought the area for urban renewal, and so it was a chance for me to leave, and I came on down then.
We came down to an art fair, and this mill was available. The lady that owned it said she might sell it, and so we kind of wangled around, and she sold it to us, and so we moved. The old mill was just kind of a hull when we got it. Ms. Brown, the lady that had owned it, had some plans for it, but Mr. Brown had gotten real sick and had some strokes, and she just felt like she couldn't carry those plans out, so she sold it to me and financed it herself. And our deal was that I'd work on it until I got it to a point where I could move into it, and then I'd start paying her payments. She let my labor count as escrow because I didn't have any money, so it was a good deal. Wasn't anything there but just the rock walls, and it was a really neat old structure, and it still is. And then I guess, in 71, Lonnie moved down, and we started this building here. We just started out with this slab that we're sitting on now, this enclosure, and then we've added on all these kind of things, and it's kind of been we just build a little as we can in between our, I really think that we do a lot of our artwork just so we can keep building on the shop.
That's probably the truth. We're both habitual builders. That's one thing we love to do, saw and hammer and construct.
Really can't get enough money for artwork, for building. You got to do something else so you can afford to build. You drinking left-handed or right-handed?
No, left.
Lonnie, Joe, and Forrest keep pretty busy here. There's a steady demand for their work, and they've taken on a young intern. His name is Joe Pahowski. He's a blacksmith from Minnesota and a rising artist himself. Forrest complains that Lonnie is a grouch and tight with his money. Lonnie claims that Forrest has a few faults too, but they apparently have been able to adjust to each other's shortcomings. They've been partners now for 20 years. Lonnie has just completed one of the biggest projects of his career. He worked for a year on a bronze statue of the late philanthropist George Herman of Houston. It is 9 feet tall and weighs a ton. Lonnie Edwards thinks he has a couple of traits in common with the subject of his work. George Herman was quiet, too, and some people thought he was a little tight with his money, until he bequeathed the city of Houston a great park and a great hospital.
There's coming, that's coming.
Edward's statue has been installed near Herman Hospital, overlooking Herman Park in Houston. A monument to George Herman, and in a sense, a monument to Lonnie Edwards, too.